what I have here, I have installed Desigo CC. It's a release version, MP5 release versions. So if you install the current versions, what you see is really what is available in current situations and what you can do already with a BIM. This project is a standard project where I have already integrated some room automations. The room automation I have created is with the ABT project. What's the content of this BIM? I have seen, follow those information you gave to us. There is some rooms where you have already some technical equipment. And according to what I've seen on the BIM, I create different rooms in ABT with the same names that we will see on the BIM data. That's really helpful for the engineering. And here what I've created is just a sample find call applications. If I open here on ABT, it's a preloaded applications with a find call, 3-stage find, classic with let's see, with cooling and here heating. Just simple find call applications. And for some rooms, I've seen it's a kind of corridor. I create really a basic room with only lighting equipment. Okay, that's my base of the demo today. And to have also some animations, here on the background, I have a backnet simulators where the different rooms I can simulate here, the different room temperatures, air quality, humidity, is just to have some informations. I don't simulate all from the room, but the main informations that we can see on a BIM. So that's my backnet simulator running on the background. So now in Desigo CC, I have integrated here. You see it's exactly the same structure that on my ABT. I have just imported the standard workflow with ABT. You get the export file, you import in CC, you get the same structures. That's my starting point. Now, let's see with the BIM itself. So I receive from you a BIM file that I have just simply integrate on my Desigo CC. And here I get the BIM the first time here I load, I get here the building. And just by importing, let's see all the functionality you have already now with the BIM data. So here I can select the building, rotate and navigate on a building. I can also zoom. Let's see here. I think I navigate a bit. So here we have a menu. Each time we see a door or windows, you have possibility to click and you navigate on a building. Here I'm inside. I guess it's the main entry. I'm on the SAS of the building, so I can here click. I'm now on another part of my building, and here you see you can navigate directly on a building. If the mouse you see a stair, you can just click, and here I up one floor. I'm also on my building, navigate here. Let's go in. Oh, I'm in front of the wall. So let's see. Here it's quite easy. I'm not a gamer. I'm not playing often with a game, etc., and navigate. But here it's easy to access with a mouse. You can easily navigate. It's pretty intuitive and it's really simple. Here I can click here. It seems I'm on the small rooms. So okay, go back. So here, click and I'm back on the whole, etc. So you see it's quite simple to navigate and if I click here, anytime I can go back to the home and I'm go back here to my building. That's the basic information when you have your building. The second possibility is it's not always easy to navigate in a 3 dimensions. You can decide to navigate by floor and with a floor view. That means now if I click here on the floor 2, the software will cut the piece of the floor you're interested and show you what's the possible here. And here I have only a piece of floor, and you can also view the structure of the building for this floor. So I select the third piece. Same here, I will show after. Let's start here also. That's my building. Or here I can navigate to the ground floor here also. So you see that maybe for some person is easy, is better to understand the floor. Okay, that's navigation by floor. That's possible. And let's do another part. At any time here, let's see, I guess this one is the operating room. So I can select a piece of the building, or a rooms associate, and if I show in a rooms, in fact, I'm inside the room here, and I can continue also to navigate. And let's go inside here. I'm on the rooms. I can go back to the floor view here. So, okay, that's, let's see with the BIM itself. Other possibility with the BIM, we provide different filters that you can also customize. That's we will see how you can arrange the different filter on the engineering part. Here I predefine 2 filters. As you see, all the walls are red, etc. It's not always easy to see. So here I create a filter where I suppress all the wall, doors, and some additional ports. And here I have a view of my floor without any door. Or another example, let's see if I go to the level 1. Sometimes you see on a picture, you have, depend of your BIM data, you see some flickering. Is it because you have 2 layers of materials? You have in brown, let's see, it's building structures, and over that in a gray you have the salb. So, and here I create a filter that's to remove, for example, this part. And here I remove 1 layer. I have not this flickering. But this filter is maybe interesting when you're on this floor, because if you are between 2 or the floor, in this case, you don't see anymore the floor and transparency. And if I reactivate this filter, here I get back. So, or maybe it's on another floor. Here, let's see, on a level 3, yes. Here that's the case. If I remove, it's completely transparent. I can reactivate. Here now I get a floor. So here you can customize 2 types of filter. Then you have also another functionality. If I'm here on my building, it can be interesting to have a X-ray view. So here you can click and you get an X-ray view of your building. And here it's going to be better if I remove the filter and the door, and here maybe I can see an X-ray of the building on the structure. And I will show you with the room automations what kind of view. This view can be interesting with the temperatures. Okay. Mhm. That's X-ray. Then about, let's reactivate all filter. Also here we see the building as a coordinate. So if you have a company has to manage different building and you want to see on which location is this building, you can click. Okay. Agree, that's a Google. So here you see the location of the building. And if I show here, and I think that's the building we speak about. I don't know if it's still up to date. This picture is still in constructions. And it's a building near Moscow. So you have a possibility because BIM contains a localization of the building here to see where is this building. So now let's see the BIM with room automations. Have you seen, you have seen before, I have configured my ABT project according to the room I have found on my BIM. If I show you what I've seen, if I have to navigate, let's see, I will go to the third floor. If I look on the floor, I have different rooms with the BIM is on the level 3. I have one room with the equipment with this name and some rooms with also 301, 2, etc. That's the rooms if I have the mouse over that I can see. So associate with the name I found to the BIM data, I create the ABT project with the same. I've done the associations. And I will show you later during the engineering part how I have done these associations. So once this association is done, I can select on my logical view directly. Let's see here, nothing special. That's my view. I select my floor. Here is a one floor. I integrate, I click, and I get automatically the floor associate and also with all the rooms has been configured and present in a building. And you will see it's really in 10-minute engineering just by association, you have all the room on the correct locations. If you have to do the same engineering in a classic way by importing the AutoCAD file, drag and drop the room on correct location, it's a lot of engineering time, I guess, that's you know. Here it's quite fast, and if you have the same naming is quite easy, and the risk of error to drag and drop on a room on the wrong place is really low. So here we have done really an integration associated with our product, with ABT project. So here with the different rooms, what's the possibility I have? I have possibility to display the temperature informations. And here the temperature is running. The color is associated with the temperature. If it's blue, it's really cold temperature, and more is up to the red, more is high. So here, if I just press F1, you have the help here. You have everything about BIM, and on the documentation here, we see what's the configurations we have for the temperature. Below 19, or 21, 23, and 25, that's the colors visible. So if you look, you will see some temperature change and some color change. And here also, because of the world is gray, the advantage of the filter here we have also a good view of the colors without, and we can really have kind of thermal cartography of your building with a different temperature. When you have all your rooms, here I have only the rooms that I get from the building. You can really have a cartography. And it's also interesting if I go back to the home. If you remember, here I see the temperature is also visible. And now if I'm doing with a X-ray, so if I have on a different floor, I can have really let's see, now to this one, I can have here a pictures of the temperature through the building. Okay. Let's continue now with the rooms. I will go back to my floor, or I can directly select the rooms and the room is selected. And on the basic navigations, here the room is selected with the room informations, with the room temperature, pre-comfort. That's the two informations. I have simulator plus the different air quality, etc. But also you have possibility if you collapse this part to display the informations here, and you see on which level we are, also on the rooms. If I select here, that's a room 3 and 10, the northern corridor, and so on, with informations display here. Another possibility here, if you have on the rooms, let's navigate. I select a rooms, and here I'm on a, let's see, 2D floor. I can switch, if you remember this one, I can be on a showrooms. So that means I will down to the rooms. Okay, here I have no the wall. I can maybe put again the filter. I on the rooms, and if I look on the floor, I will see the different equipment. And here automatically, here that's the HVAC equipment. And if I select the HVAC equipment, I see here it's a fan. It's my fan call applications with the speed stage and the heating cooling. So here I have not done any association for the lighting, but if the light is associated to the data point, when you click, you get also the informations. What's the status of the light, on, off, etc. If you have, for example, another equipment, a radiator, and you want to link, is also possible. But here is simply I select that my HVAC equipment and I get information. I can go back to the 2D view here. Another interesting views. I will reactivate the filter, move. I can go back, and here maybe also the view with the temperature. And here we see the different HVAC equipment. You have possibility to select here. It's also, that means if your BIM contain also the location of the different technical equipment in this type of view, if you receive an alarm, my HVAC part of this room has an issue, there is an easy way to locate the equipment and maybe to guide the guy on the site. Oh, you will see on the roof, you'll get the equipment. Here it's quite easy to find, but let's see if the valve is below a part of the roof, you don't see where it's really located. With this view, you have a way to find easily the different equipment once they are present on the beam. So go back to the view. So here, so here I show you the temperatures, but also you have here, if we receive the Windows contact, here I can display all the rooms where the windows is open. Here I have simulated 2 rooms. Here I have 2 rooms with the windows open. I have the same information here for the air quality. I have my air quality, and also on the tooltip you see the value on the ppm, and also same if I press F1, go back to the documentation, what is possible. Here is the windows, the air quality is green till red, follows the ppm. We have the humidity, the occupancy. You can show also the lighting and the shading information. So here, that's air quality. Here it's humidity. You see the value of the humidity. Same if I select, I can see the room. And the other one, that's occupancy. If you have a presence detector, you can here display the occupancy of the rooms. On these simulations, I have no lighting and shading, but it's same if I select here the lighting equipment, you will see in yellow all rooms where the lights are on. And the next is for the shading, the position of the shading equipment. I have not simulated because my BACnet simulator doesn't support this type of object. So, can put again. So that's for the room equipment. So here I have here. Also about the room equipment, you have seen my HVAC equipment was selectable. So I can go. Here I have a functionality that's allowed to show me all the equipment that we have activate on a building. So here it's quite high on the position. So it's an element here. And by default, they are not visible. It's just because you see the software to display a floor like this one. You say, okay, let's cut the building at 1.5 meters and to get really the building structures. But if you want to see also equipment, to have more, you have a possibility to configure. And let's see, I will change cutting height for the floor view. I will put 3 meters. Okay, so let's move. So here I have to save, yes. Okay, it's not, I have to reload. Let's reload. Floor. So now it's reloading. So you see now I cut my building, I display the floor with 3 meters high. And I guess here we start to see the HVAC equipment, but I guess it's still more than 3 meters high. So let's go inside. Yeah, it's more than 3 meters high. That's why we see only a part. So let's go here, go back here. Maybe I have to cut more to get the full. Let's do a test. I will 3.5. Let's do a save. Room 2, 302. Yes, now because here, yeah. You see now I see the different element here. And sure, here I can select the element. Here if I have select, nothing is happen. But if I click here on the HVAC equipment, I see. And here you have the two buttons that here is just highlight in red the select element you have clicked. So here, HVAC. And another one that, let's see, I will unselect the rooms. Here show you by the circle all the element equipment present on the rooms. And the one you see in red has a data point associate. And let's see selectable and get data. Okay. So here, let's keep. That's a different possibility with the rooms. And I think the BIM is really an interesting point with the room management. It's really powerful. Now let's see another scenario with an RN unit. On my project, what I have done is I have also a small device. This one is not simulate. Let's see, applications. I have just a small device where I have already my simple RN unit configured and also my e-generator equipment. And with a sample RN unit. And I have seen on your building, you have a similar equipment, it's just here for the demo. And I have associated my RN unit to this equipment. So here I create another section. So when I click on my technical rooms, it's navigate. Here is not the room. Maybe some filter, no. Where is it the right floor? No. Let's navigate to my some filter active. No. So I am on the right floor. Let's see. Yes, -2. Where is my? Yeah. Okay, got it. I don't see it because here the fact to cut my building at 3.5 is too much for this floor. Let's see, I will put again 1.5. So here, save. So now if I select my technical rooms, I will reload with the correct cut. Now I see here on this floor, I have here an air equipment. So I have associated my array unit. So I say that my array unit is part of these rooms. So here I can also navigate to my equipment. And I say, okay, that's my array unit. And also I have associate. If I select here, I see that's my damper. Here I have nothing associate. Here is my energy recovery, extract fan. Let's see, that's my outside damper, heating, cooling, etc. And also at any time, so if I select element, I can display in a secondary pane my array unit. So that's really helpful. The guy to do the maintenance can easily locate here. He sees that my array unit is on a -2 floor on these rooms. He can locate the rooms. Here I see it's on the level -2. And in parallel, he can follow the formation of the array unit. So here I'm select. So in case you have an issue or whatever, you can easily ask the damper is broken, I receive an alarm. You can locate the damper physically and guide the user to fix it. Here also I can display it's selectable in rate, the element. This one has nothing is right, etc. If I display, that's all element where I have associate data point. So if you have a similar equipment with the heating system, etc., you can do also exactly the same. Just associate your equipment, and the BIM has really the advantage to locate the equipment. You can imagine if you have a facility company has to manage different building, it has not always in mind the location of all equipment. Here, by this banding, you can immediately say, there is and I receive an alarm from my airing unit. I can easily locate on my building on which one is it and go directly and repair in case. Okay. So here we have already seen a lot of information about the BIM with live data. Maybe now let's see the different possibility of engineering. I think the best to do the engineering, what I will do, applications, I will completely delete this file and restart here the BIM engineering from scratch. Okay, so I will just delete. Okay, so here I have removed the BIM data. The only things I will do, I will just restart also my Desigo CC to be sure I've deleted nothing in cache, because also the BIM works with a cache, etc., to have an optimized performance. So let's restart and let's do the new engineering. You have a new project. At least you have already done the engineering with ABT. You have imported the device. That is really the standard workflow. I will not show this workflow. It's a classic. Now, so here we are. We have a project. So now what's happened, if I select my logical view, it's really classic. I click here. I have the room. I have nothing connected. That's maybe a corridor. Here it's a room classic. That's what you get as default, the different room informations. And also here now, if I select my array unit, I don't get any floor plans. That's I have my array unit, my heating generations, classic engineering. Let's go back to the applications and I will select my BIM graphic. Also here by default, I get also the possibility to do the engineering in operating mode. That is something you can configure on your security group. You can decide if the customer can edit the BIM or do engineering, or he has just the viewer. But here for the demo, I allow all the possibility. I enable the engineering, and here I will import the BIM file I receive. So here I receive two files, and I can import the first one. So here I will read load a bit. Let's give it time.
First time load takes quite long. Yeah. We import the ASCII based IFC file. And once we've got it loaded, we then store it in a fast binary format so that the future load is much faster.
An importable building is the performance of the computer will impact more and Stefan, you can correct me, when you open one building and the number of elements you have on this building to navigate on it.
So yes, David, you're correct. Basically, the issue is a bit, we can import multiple IFC files, and then basically the content of one IFC file will be the amount of graphical elements you will display. And so if you would end up using one large IFC file for your campus, let's say with 5 buildings, then you will have considerably more problems than if you would have it split up in 5 IFC files, one for each building. Then you have less graphical elements to be displayed at once. So there is issues in how the IFC files are constructed related to the performance. So that is something you need to consider. Yes.
I will say that's a general rules for everything. Nothing is magic. It's the performance is related to the number of elements you want to display.
Correct. Yes.
So here you see I have imported the file. I can save it, and just already now you don't need to do any special engineering. You can already navigate on a building. Here I can go back again on my building, navigate. Let's go here to see where I am. Already now, once the file is imported, you can enter. Here I'm on the small rooms. Go here. You can already navigate on a building without any problem. You don't need anything special. Just by importing the file, you have already also the functionality to navigate on a building. So here. So as you see, go back to the home. So also what you can do is maybe you have a favorite positions when you start your building. Here it's my building, and I will say that is the initial view for my building, and I do a save. So that means now if it will save the positions, I click, I open back, I have saved on which position my building has to be when I start. And that you can do when you have associate point for each floor. When I select a floor and if I have associate my rooms, you can after that set the positions of the floor, the view you have for the floor. So also now I can show you, you send to us another file. I will also import the second file. It's all the furnitures as a separate file. And here it was really a good example you sent to us to have two separate files, and also you will see the performance that can impact number of elements. On these furnitures, it starts to be really a huge also file. Yeah, I think it's all the bed, chair, all the small furnitures you have on the building. Let's import it. And here you will see they are going to be displayed as a separate file. Okay, but we have a possibility to simply by a drag and drop to combine both files. So here you see all the furnitures. So I see my PC start a bit slow. I have a lot of small and tiny equipment. Okay. I will also do a save of this document. So now I start again my building, and I'm interested maybe to have all the furniture on my building. So here it's really simple. You just drag and drop. And here you get a pop-up. Do you want to add this graphic to this one? And it will do the merge, finish. I can do a save. And now, so here I see, I go back to my building. You remember how it was. Now I enter, you see all the furniture. But already now I see the navigations, because a lot of elements are present, start to be a bit more complex. But I see all the chair, extra. I can navigate, and over here, maybe it's click here. I see all the waiting rooms, etc. So here you see all the equipment has been added on the building. So go back here. So here, oops. Also, yes, here if I show you as a floor, maybe here is still okay. We see also equipment. Let's remove one filter to avoid the flickering. Oops, yeah, here. Yeah, here is you see that was the location where I was in the rooms here. And here we see also equipment. And also if I select, let's close this one and jump to, let's go to the number 3, yeah, the floor. It's take a bit more time to load. But I can imagine also you can imagine if you have different beam, you have the main building is mainly the infrastructure, the architectural part, and we can imagine another one, a file who contain all the HVAC equipment, another who contains maybe the piping locations, the air distributions, and easily you can arrange the different view. So here you see, start here, let's up. I guess here that's it's a hospital where we see the rooms with the different equipment. So if I select one rooms, I can see with bed also, yeah, with all the equipment. Okay. So here I've done a merge, but let's go back. You see that impacts the performance. It's also because I have a slow PC. But at any time you have done the banding, you can prepare, and here, oops, it's not this one, it's here. I can just disable if I have on my graphic one line for the HVAC, one line for the air distributions, one for the piping distribution. You can disable the visibility. So here I remove, and you see immediately the performance are completely different. I remove all the small equipment and I'm back. Okay, so you can easily organize the view and also follow the discipline and avoid to have thousands of elements on your page, because if you have too much at the end, the file is or the view is not readable. But at least for a person has to navigate on a building, here just by this view we know where you can easily locate. That is just by a sample link and drag and drop to associate different beam data. Okay, so now let's see, I have integrate the beam, I play with the beam itself. Let's do the association of the rooms. So here, if you remember, I've done an engineering on my ABT, and on my ABT, I just simply say, oh, it's a rooms, and the name of the room I've used here, it's also the rooms I have seen in my beam. Let's go to show both in parallel, really to see. Come on. Oh, that's with a team I have found. Cannot resize. Okay, let's do. So here, if I look at my room number 3, I must get somewhere. Poop, poop, poop. Yeah, here I have one rooms where there is equipment. Here's the rooms. And I also have a list of rooms here. So I just, let's see, it can be a part of the room command. Here my name is room underscore, blah, blah. But the last part is command on my Bim data and also on my project. So here what I can do is just simply, I select my logical view. Here I have my rooms and I just drag and drop and make the link on this floor. And here I get a pop-up. What kind of association you want to have? Here it's building structures. And here we use CC name and also associated equipment. If we have child equipment, I can show you how we can configure. And replace add. I click OK. And automatically the tool has found and create here. It has associate my room. You see on the first line, it's a Bim reference. And the second line, it's a Desigo CC data point. Here with the same rooms. And here he has done also the room 3 and 1, 3 and 2, and so on. He has automatically associate. And because I have configured to my drag and drop, if you found an equipment with blah blah, find call, here's this reference, please associate the HVAC as a data point. And let's see, most of the engineering is done. I can do a save. I can leave. I can display. So now I'm select here. I click on my floor. Here I get automatically the view. And as you see, now what I can do is to do engineering and I will say, if I click, I want to be focused on this part. Let's zoom. Set initial view floor 3. Save. OK. Save. So I click. Oops, it's round. So, and here you see already now with no more engineering, all the rooms are on the correct locations. You see it again on the engineering, you have no place. So now, as you see, maybe the box here is not on the right place because by default, already now I can already display temperature. All functionality has automatically activate. No engineering. So let's see now the next step is by default, when the tool you associate the rooms, the box with the temperature, most of the time is okay because the room is a square or rectangle and the box is on the middle. But here I have a special case where it's about the corridor. This part is a corridor and the box is on middle of the corridor is not really the nice positions. So what you can do is to arrange the position. So here you select the object and say, let's put, I want my box here. Same here, click. I can move it and let's put my box here. You can arrange and have the correct positions. I do a save. Yeah. So now, oops, I think I did something wrong when I save the locations on my, let's go back here. It's on the, and let's see, save this location 3. Yes. Okay, save. If so, now I click on the building 3. Yes, now I'm on correct positions, and here my rooms. Okay, so here you have always a small possibility to rearrange and put the box on the correct place as you want. So, and here, let's see, for engineering on the room is done. You have everything correct. Okay. Now let's do the engineering on the next part is about the array unit. I want to associate my array unit to my BIM data. I think the array unit is on the second floor, is here, is this equipment. So here I have such of equipment here. I have now if I click nothing special is just but I see already here let's see here it's the selected element. Yes, that's the rooms where I have my on the level 2 my rooms, nothing is associated, and here I can see that's one equipment, the second equipment, and I can find the different point. Let's see now, I want to associate this array unit and indicate that's my array unit. I just here simply drag and drop, let's see my data point here, my array unit. I will just do not recursive, do a simple association, just associate equipment. And here I have associated this data point, this room to my array unit. And here I select the damper, is here. So let's see, that's my outside damper. I select my damper and just associate my just trigger associate, and here my point is associate automatically. This one here I see it's my extract, my next damper. Where are you? Here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's my fan, the extract air fan, and so on. So you can. So now I doing one by one because I have maybe not found any naming conventions, but it's like on the rooms. If you have a correct naming convention and the name of your equipment match with a child element, when you drag and drop the room, it will find all the child and do the association automatically. But here is just one by one. You can show in case you have a special equipment you want to integrate and link. It's just by simply drag and drop associate a point to the equipment. Here I have my fan. Here I have not associate. I can say that's my heating equipment. I just drag and drop. Yes, and do a save. Now the link is done. I can just simply finish. I click on my array unit, and here automatically, here the user can locate of the air equipment. Here we have, navigate to the rooms. I have my array unit and also display in parallel on the secondary pane my array unit and the equipment. Okay, that's one example to associate an air equipment to the BIM data. It's just simply done by a drag and drop and associate data point. Maybe note the other questions, other things can be interesting for you is how the different equipment are visible on a tree. Here. To avoid to have a really huge tree and completely lost on the equipment, here's a tree visible has already a predefined filter. It's displayed by default only the floor and the different rooms. And you see, I have no special equipment on the floor. He has just found some equipment, but the equipment visible on the tree is something you can configure on the programs. Let's do a small example, and I have here, let's do completely other scenario. Let's see, I have here a floor, and maybe I want to associate a single data point to a door to indicate the door is open or closed. You see, by default, I don't see the door element because I have not configured the door element visible on my tree. Because else, if I start to display everything, you get thousands of elements and you lost. But to have an idea here during the engineering with a key control, here, when you put the mouse over, you have possibility to show the element. This one is element, the name present in the EFC file and also the EFC type. And I see, if you look, most of the doors start with the name D1, 2 dot, something, blah, blah. So here, door. This one is a wall. Here is maybe a pillar, yes, columns, etc. So now let's configure the program. So I will just exit, navigate to my Desigo CC project. So here on the BIM project, on the library, you have a library. And here you have on the building software Desigo Bim Viewer, association rules. By default, we provide here an HQ file that you can customize just by remove the HQ, make a copy. And here, let's open with an editor. I will do. And this one, as you can define pre-rules. Here we give already some rules. If you have an equipment with a QMX and this equipment has this type of EFC, etc., you can associate the room HVAC coordinator. We give already some base equipment. Now I play with your file, and as you see, I have extended here the rules. If I found an equipment start or contains the EDES key, and the type is EFC flow terminal, this element appears on the list. Same for an equipment with this name and this type. And also I say, if you found this equipment and you drew an association, automatically do the banding and associate the HVAC data point. And so on. And here I have prepared, let's see, that's what we say, the D1. If you found an object name start with the D1 2 dot and the type is EFC door, let's display on a list. I will save. So just update the file, restart. Alt admin. Okay, so now go back here, building sections. sorry, applications, my building. So now is reading the file. And if I switch now to engineering mode, and if I look one floor, boop, 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 I get another, and here, yes, I get all the door. And you see on the building, it's also highlighted. So let's jump to the floor number 4. So yeah, and yes, and here, let's remove. So here, you see, now I have access to the door, and because the door are here associate, I can, let's see, I have just a simple primary device. And let's see, this one I'm interested and I want to associate, I can just drag and drop my data point here. It's just, I don't need to do the children, it's just a sample association, 1.1 children. Let's see here, I will associate the second one. Okay. Here, this door is my binary next. So if you have really third party, and now you see, if I put the mouse over, I have the information is display, and also this one is selectable. So let's do a save. So here, let's see. Oops. Okay, it's now I'm on the. Let's stay on the 2D view. Yeah, here that's my binary 1, my binary, and I think that's the door. Here we have all. So and now, yeah, all the data points are associated, and here I navigate, and you see I'm focused now on the door. Let's see, the binary is jump, and I'm on. That's the door here inactive. Go back to the binary. You can locate the element on the door. Here is just a sample example. I have a BIM equipment, EFC equipment. I have just associate a data point. And in case an alarm appears for the door, you can the user can select and he can locate the door and see where is the point. Okay.